I mean, we did it. We did our jobs. I mean, I think that down the stretch, we gave up a drive where we were up, 3-9, and we gave up one big drive. Outside of that, they did a solid job of, holding them out of the red zone a few times, fourth down stops. But we didn't do enough to win the game, which is what we're all striving for. But they're getting better, learning the system. Moving forward to this week, a totally different task. They throw the ball around, some pretty good receivers, good O-line, protect well, quarterbacks, throws the ball in the right position. So they do a lot of good things. We've seen them once, so I'm sure they're going to, change up some things from what they did the first time. But they're a good team, and we're looking forward to the challenge.
All right, guys, questions?
Coach, good to talk to you again. We were talking to T-Buck earlier in the week on Monday, and he said that you guys were going along, but really the next step you guys need to take is kind of turn getting home on sacks and making pressures and all into turnovers. What's something you guys been doing in practice to try to make that extra kick happen and bring in more takeaways?
Well, we do a turnover circuit that we've been harping on guys, just the fundamentals of, actually punching the ball out, with the strip sack fumbles, scooping and scoring. We caused a few fumbles, but we hadn't got any of them. So just working on that. And also that's swarming to the ball and playing with high effort. And turnovers come in bunches, so hopefully we can get a few this week. The first time we played them, we got 2 interceptions. Didn't turn them into scores, which is what our next goal is, to turn some of those turnovers into scores.
And kind of a quick follow-up to that, you had mentioned, you guys did have a good outing last week. Obviously didn't have enough points, but are you guys building on the fact that you guys were in position to possibly win the game? Like the offense was there, one toe touch or lack of a toe touch away from setting up the field goal there to take it home. Are you guys kind of using that to build on going into this next game?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the only thing you can do. I mean, either you win or you lose. It's not really a almost won or almost lost. But I do think, we're getting better as a team and as a group, and guys are, believing that, we can win, and our record doesn't really indicate what type of team we actually have, in my opinion. So I think that just finishing games and making those plays down the stretch will help us out.
Always a pleasure, Coach Carter. Definitely. And I know, it wasn't a result in a win, but Coach Buckley did say something really great about you. He did say that he thinks you're doing an excellent job. What do you think about the compliment that Coach Buckley gave about you?
I mean, I'm doing my job. I mean, I don't think that, if I was doing a bad job, then I would be mad about that. But I think as any coach, your job is to do a good job. So, it's definitely, I respect him a lot. He knows that. But I think I'm just doing my job, doing what I'm supposed to do. If not, then I wouldn't be here. So.
Yeah. And you mentioned you want to turn some of those turnovers into points. Can you kind of update us on CJ Holmes and his availability for this weekend?
We're hoping to get him back. I'm not sure, if he's been cleared 100% to go, but he's definitely, one of our better defenders. He hadn't got a chance to play this year just because he had an ankle injury. He's been nursing, but any guy we can get back from injury that, we were counting on in the beginning is always a plus. He's definitely one of those guys.
How are you, Coach? Jeff Barnes from Team MAS Media. One of the things you've been able to hang your hat on through these first 3 games defensively is teams have not been able to consistently run the football against you guys. What do you attribute your success against stopping the run these first 3 games?
I mean, the players, honestly, they play with good effort, great technique. Coach Ty Warren does a good job with those guys up front, just teaching them technique, playing with the attitude. And our goal is every week is to make a team one-dimensional, which is take away the run and force them to pass. So the guys up front are doing a good job, and we got good leadership at the linebacker position. So they understand, and we spend a lot of time talking about stopping the run and, teaching it the right way. And I think they're buying into it, and it shows up on game day.
Yeah, Coach and Coach Carter. And one of the things about I wanted to ask you is, just watching the game, are you having good lines of communication down on the field with your players?
Yes, I think I like the technology part of things. You can talk to multiple guys while they're out there, so that's pretty cool. And then we have the iPads on the sideline where you can pre-watch plays and rewatch things. So technology is definitely a plus. And also, but it's nothing like that human interaction. When you can look into a guy's eyes and know if he's hurt, excited, or emotionally not there. So I think that the advantage I have as being a former player, I know what that feels like, and I know what it looks like, and also knowing when to leave a guy alone as a coach. Sometimes they know what they did wrong or right. You just leave them alone and kind of let them be them, and they'll play harder for you.
Tony, you haven't had a chance to really see him, but you guys signed Quentin Flowers this week. He had an opportunity on the field. I know he's a quarterback, but you guys facing against him, what have you seen from him specifically?
He's athletic, very athletic. I mean, he can throw it too. He got a strong arm. So I think I'm excited to have him on our squad, and I think he'll give us a boost. I'm not sure exactly what the plan is for him. I'm on the defense side of the ball, but I watched him in college, and I was like, people can't stop this guy.
Is it good to have someone like that who's also some versatility, who can do a little bit of, not like you mentioned, he can throw the ball, but can also run a little bit and do some different things?
It definitely is, because teams have to plan for it. That's what DC team is doing to everybody. That you spend a lot of time planning for two different style offenses, and you never really get good at stopping one.
Coach, we were talking earlier about you getting advice from Coach Buckley. He being, a Super Bowl champion himself, former DB, and you would name drop Coach Warren too. I wanted to kind of bring him up too, as your D-line guy. Is there anything that you've learned from him? I mean, I know you're the DC and you're higher in the hierarchy. I'm obviously that doesn't matter too much when you're working together the plan. I get that, but what's some stuff you've picked up from Coach Warren as himself? Being a former NFL champion and a former player, just like you used to play the game.
You learn a lot. I mean, he played in the trenches, so he understands, D-line a lot different than I do. We're both knowledgeable in areas, but he's a D-line technician, teacher, and also he's very organized in what he does. And we worked together in Detroit with the Lions, so we worked together before, and then we played together on a few squads. He was in Denver. He got hurt in Denver when I was there, so we knew each other from a while ago, and we speak the same language football-wise, but definitely just D-line technique, efficiency, and how to take on blocks, the language part of things. We definitely learn off each other.
That was a blast from the past. Yeah, I forgot he was on Denver squad there for a minute. That's right.
Yeah, no doubt. And I was in New England in 2010 with him as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Coach, Houston is very efficient on third down. They're running about 46.5%. What are you going to have to do this week to keep them from extending drives, get your defense off the field?
I think just get them out of rhythm. They're a rhythm offense. If they're in rhythm and they're going, they're going. But you get them out of rhythm by causing turnovers, by slowing them down on first and second down, getting them into third and long rather than third and manageable situations. And they have a lot of weapons as well, and they use them all. I think just understanding what they're trying to do. And then when the opportunity comes, we've been talking to our guys a lot by just not trying to do too much, but do what you're supposed to do, make your plays, and they understand that they're going to make some plays as well.
Yeah, Coach Carter, is it because you played in the NFL and you're definitely very familiar with the way the rules are in the NFL? Is it more difficult in this league with a 2-minute drill to defend the other team because of the fact that they're playing by college rules?
No, it's the same. I mean, it's no different. I mean, my job as a coach is to learn the rules and learn what's going on. I mean, the whole XFL rules are totally different from a lot of things that I've been a part of. I did have a blooper. I mean, after a touchdown, you always think field goal from time to time. So in my mind, I was thinking field goal block, but then I had to say, 1, 2, or 3-point play. So other than that, the 2-minute situation is similar. I'm just looking at the clock and, when the coach, when the referee, blows the whistle to start it, it's not a running clock. But outside of that, it's all football to me.
Coach, another thing that the Guardians have struggled with on both sides of the ball is penalties, or those mental mistakes that have extended drives. What have you been working on this week to try to limit those mistakes and play aggressively, but not get the flag pulled on them, especially those, pivotal DPI calls that you've been getting this season that I thought went either way. I'm with you guys on that. But what do you got to do to minimize the penalties and the mental mistakes on the defensive side of the ball?
Guys are playing hard. When you're playing hard and you're going to get called for holding from time to time, I don't think that a ref can call it either way. I don't think there's been like blatant, calls to where I have to get on a guy about not doing a certain thing. We had a few dumb penalties a couple of weeks ago, hit a guy out of bounds, stuff like that. That's something that, in practice, or jumping off sides, those things, we got a little penalty system. If you jump off sides in practice, you got to take a lap around the field. So that gets guys, a little bit more discipline, hold them accountable. But other than that, I think if you're playing hard, I'm never going to be mad as a coach from a guy playing hard with effort. Now, if you're blatantly just pulling a guy's jersey or something like that, then okay, we can coach you up. Maybe put the mitts on you in practice so you won't hold. But it's been some bang bang calls, and the refs are doing the best they can, and we just got to overcome some things.
Hey, Coach, with it being that it's the second time around, familiarity starts to become a factor in the matchup. How do you plan to not only continue to get pressure on a quarterback this time around like you did the first time, but improve it to where you're getting more pressure that's going to disrupt their offense a little more?
I think just showing them different looks, they are a pretty efficient offense. They have an answer for everything you do. You just got to beat them to the punch. So whenever you beat them to the punch, then they're going to have another answer. So then you got to change it up and do something else. If you just do the same thing the entire time, they'll pick you apart, which is, what I've been seeing on film. So I think just mixing it up, showing different looks, kind of confusing them, beating them at their own game. Really.
Anything else for Tony? All right, Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.